Good evening. Tonight is the second in a series of the pictorial history of Tewksbury. We thank you for your many calls and your input that we had from our first series. Please call us if you have any information or input that'll help us with this pictorial history. The number is 851-0341. Tonight we have commenting on the pictures tonight, Tad Brown, Bob Haines, and I'm Bunky Holden. Please sit back and enjoy the pictures. Well, here we are, Bob. I think we ended with the Crosbys. We're going to start with them again, huh?
Looks like it, doesn't it? Old Jim there, he was driving a station wagon last week. Now he's driving the milk wagon. He seems like going back in time here. He's working for Cameron at the time, who had a dairy up there in North Tewksbury on Andover Street. This is where they used to live on North Street before 495 went through. Then they moved the house over, I believe, to the left, you know, as you're going toward Andover on 495. This is one of Francis Crosby's pictures. He's probably showed up in the in the porch there somewhere hiding.
Now they had all their own cattle up around there.
There he is.
Power lines, huh? Oh yeah.
Right. There's Francis sitting on the steps. Poor Francis. I lost his picture. I'll find it. Keep an ear, Francis.
What's over to the right there? Is that the moon, or is that one of those old famous streetlights?
Geez, I don't know what that is. Probably a
hole in the film.
UFO or something.
No, I don't think that's anything like that. I don't know what that is.
Maybe someone knows who those two people are. Who do they think they are?
I think one is Francis Crosby, and the other one's probably his sister. Oh, now we're down on Main Street at Pike's house. That field is opposite Main Street from the Pike house, where there's a number of houses in there now, naturally. It looks pretty much the same now, doesn't it? Only a little...
He added that new place on the right, but it almost coincides with the old place.
Pretty
I remember
neat.
Picking up my marriage license on that building on the right there.
Yeah, we used to get sworn in for the fire department and all those other good jobs we had. Yeah, old Mrs. Pike, town
That's
clerk.
one of the real nice houses in Tewksbury
Right.
still.
It's a little closer now.
Yeah.
But it still looks pretty much the same with the restaurant there and all.
Yeah, some resemblance to the Sycamore Hall, too. See how that construction
right.
was somewhat the same?
Right. Looks like it a cupola up on the top, especially. You know, in them days, that could be Ames's Hill sticking way up in the background before the trees all grew up and everything, you know. But, time
On
changes.
the right-hand part of the... Yes, that's what that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're just up the street from the Pike house, up to where Tinney's house, right? It's gone now, Tad.
Yeah, that was the Penny McCoy Callahan house.
Didn't Mrs. Roper live there when she first got married?
I believe so, yes. I believe so.
It's a parking lot now for Astro Circus.
Yeah,
Yes,
where visual is, Astro
yeah,
Visual, yeah,
yeah.
right there in the park.
Yeah, right.
Seems most places had a lot of picket fence then, huh?
Yeah, it seems like a horse must have got loose there, Taddy, and went through it there one time on a snowplow or something.
Somebody kicked the pickets out after
Little
a party.
Where's this now?
Up the next street, up the corner of Rogers Street, it's Norm Damaris was there now.
That was the old McCoy house.
Right,
Yes.
right. Yeah, you spent a couple of days in there, didn't you?
Yeah, I've lived in there off and on,
Yeah.
yeah. So.
You married a girl from that house, didn't you?
Huh?
Did you marry a girl from near there, or?
No. Come from Lowell. But that was the old Callahan land. Well, on the old maps you see of Callahan's Corner.
Oh, it is an old one.
Yes.
That's the old Jim Sullivan's house. Jim was the father of Louise Brabant, remember?
Yeah, he was the fellow on that
Chief
bicycle
Wanda
last
said.
week, wasn't he?
Yeah, right. That was set right under the power lines at old Boston Road. And the old lilacs are still blooming. You
Yeah,
see
some
them?
lilac bushes are still there.
Yeah.
I can't remember that. I remember the house. I don't remember that barn being there, Bob.
No, well,
Maybe never got out back.
yeah, probably. That's down the corner of Old Boston Road, down the same area, the new, same neighborhood. Torelli lives there now, the old Mia's house.
Yes, Benny Buck lived there for
Benny
years.
Buck, right,
The
right,
Buck
right.
family.
Yeah,
Right.
that's an oldie. That's one of the older houses in town.
That looks like a wooden roof on it now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a shingle, wooden shingle, sure.
That was taken a few years back, I'd say. That
Yep.
picture there.
Yeah. Although they have awnings there, it's surprising to see. That's just that was a postcard. It said a porch in Tewksbury, Mass, and I threw it in, and where it is, that's someone else.
We don't know. If anybody out there knows what house this might be, good chance to call.
That fence is not a bit familiar. I don't ever remember having to jump over that one. I don't know whose fence it is.
Well, you've jumped over most of them,
no,
kid.
an awful lot of fence. No, I wouldn't even want to guess where that
No,
would
I
be,
can't
Bob.
either. No, I haven't any idea. That's the New England Power Company before all the trees grew along the road and everything. See the shadow of the railroad crossing sign. And the magnifying glass, with a magnifying glass, you could see some old Model T Ford trucks up at the door there, you know.
The building to the left, would that be their first building in town?
Yeah,
Their very first
That's
building?
the first, what do you call it? The transfer station, whatever it is.
Yes,
Yeah, that's where all the switching's done.
station,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of the power for the whole eastern Massachusetts, right in that area, comes right through that
Yeah.
station.
This here is up on Andover Street at the Andover line where the Colonial gas station is today, the old Bennett farm. Esther Bennett it was said that Esther Bennett was born in a bedroom where the town line of Andover went through, and if she didn't fall off the left-hand side of the bed, she would have been born in Andover instead of Tewksbury.
Some
Esther
kids-
lives up there at the right side of the doing school now, you know.
We get a lot
Big
of
way.
people now in these pictures. You notice
Yeah,
everybody
that's-
knows who them people on the porch or who. You know who this is, Bob?
That's old Mr. Carter, David Carter, I believe his name is. That's the original Carter house, which I think it burnt down, and they built the second one where Leo Morris and those people lived. Duffy's, remember?
That's the one that's sitting cornerways on Main Street, right across
Right.
from
The
near
new-
Mahoney's there.
That house was, yeah, there it is right there. There's the replacement.
Before you get to Victor Drive coming from South Tewksbury. on the
Right. That's,
That house hasn't changed too greatly over the years.
no. In fact, it looks kind of decrepit there. It looks better now with the
Well,
bushes
no,
around it.
The one that's there now, a car or something, had a big hole.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
front of it.
the corner is whacked.
Mr. Stewart,
I-
did you get any stuff?
This is the Heidenreich farm from the year around 1940 somewhere. If you had that same trip today, there'd be an awful lot of houses up in the background near Heidenreich Drive, and
That was always a beautiful farm,
Yeah,
Bob.
yeah.
Always a beautiful farm.
yeah.
Yeah, they're just starting to break that farm up for now houses, huh? aren't
Well,
they?
I think that the last houses are just being built.
North Bellrica Road cannot be seen. It's right in the foreground where the telephone poles are. You can just
Right.
really see them. coming.
Now we're down on Main Street, down by where the post office is now.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the old Folsom farm.
Oh, yes.
Later was Bob
Bob
Lacey's.
Lacey's.
That farm, that picture is sideways from Main Street. If you will, you're standing in the, probably where the bank is, looking toward Tewksbury Center. That would be what you'd see, with the Main Street running along to the left.
That building was on a good-sized knoll there,
It was,
Bob.
yeah,
That
it was,
raised-
yeah.
The land was raised up
Right.
quite high.
Now this is,
Well, that's Bob Lacey's.
that's
that's
down
the old
in
Lacey farm.
Foster and Shawsheen Street, the
Yeah.
old Lacey farm.
Yeah, his father, the old
Previous,
farm.
owners were, I guess it was known as the Foster Farm or something. Enoch
Old
Foster
yeah,
Farm or something.
Years ago.
My
before-
grandfather bought that later in life,
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Peter
tore that
Lacey.
down and put up the first condo. The first
Right.
4 condos went right in that corner.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right across from that store there.
Yeah, Foster
They
Road
used to be
went
selling
right
stuff.
alongside of that barn.
That's right, yeah.
Off Shawsheen Street, yeah. And that's the same area, the same building with a nice Buick in the yard there. I guess they're going to the Plum Island or somewhere. They used to get on there a lot.
There were probably 6,193 people in Massachusetts then.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Used to go to Plum Island and push for 30 miles and drive for 10. Gee. Billy Chandler can remember them days.
The road used to flood up.
There's, that house there is, well, in later life, it was where Mrs. McClaren, the school nurse, lived, where
McDonald's.
McDonald's is today, right, by the airport, right beside the airport.
Yeah, it used to be a halfway house. People used to stop there. Wasn't there
Right.
a well or something there that used to
Yeah,
stop and
that's
get
right.
drinking water from? Look at that nice pile of wood out front.
Yeah, nice, evenly.
Got that today,
court there,
too.
I guess, huh?
Well, there's a good amount of wood there. They would have to have that. They had a good-sized fireplace. You can tell by that chimney in the
Yeah,
middle.
no, that's the same
That's the
place,
same
and it
place.
shows the, I don't know if
Yeah.
that's the main street or is that the driveway that goes up
I couldn't
in
tell.
around, because I know the house set back from the road quite a bit. I have an idea that could possibly be a
Well, that
driveway.
Mrs. McClaren was the school nurse when I was
Oh,
going
yeah,
to school.
oh, sure, for years and years,
Yeah.
yeah, You
That
never
was a
been-
big, beautiful tree in the front. I can remember that tree even, yeah.
that went down when they built that mall down there. Yeah. Now we're back
that
in
railroad
Tewksbury
again?
Center. And Hattie, you
Here
were
we
right.
go
You
again.
were right, Hattie.
I was
You're
right?
You're
What was
right.
that?
I found out it was on the right-hand side
Yeah,
of the
there is
list,
that. Yeah,
We had a
either
little-
that or I was born backwards because
Well-
that
We had a little debate here going last week. Tad said the railroad was on the right going up North Street, and Bob said the station was on the left. Well,
Hattie's right.
since then, Bob's been quiet and
First
Tad
time
was
I've been
right.
wrong since, when? 1943?
First time Bob since wrong since last week.
That was quite a good solid station. That still is over there. Why don't you tell them where it is, Bob, now?
Well, they're living in it. Well, we told them last
Yeah,
week.
last week, Collins'
Yeah.
daughter,
This is,
granddaughter's living there.
I don't know if this is Cameron or not there. He looks kind of young. Of course, Ruth looks young, too, you know. It can't be her father.
Someone might know who this is, Bob. It'd be nice to know.
I know that I should know myself, actually. I
I don't
have so
have
many
any
things
idea.
going through my head right now, but I think it's Ruth Cameron's father.
In the mo-
I mean, Ruth Smith now.
In the morning, you see them wagons just loaded with flowers being shipped out of
Yeah,
town
yeah.
to Boston and to all over the country.
That's the
Carnations,
same
mostly.
thing in the winter.
Yeah, of course, that's looking east now from North Street. Right, Tad?
Yeah.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
you're right,
looking
yeah.
down the tracks towards the cemetery. And Patton's is on the left there. That new
Yeah.
condominium group that's there. Dr. Lou's would be to the right-hand side of that building.
Okay, Teddy. That's what we brought you here.
That's quite a wheel on that wheelbarrow. See it in the front there?
Yeah, iron wheel, right? This is same place, and if I'm not mistaken, that's either Ruth Smith or Mary Watson.
You can't be too wrong. There are only 3 or 4 people in Tewksbury at that
Well,
time anyway.
I know. It's you got a 50-50 chance.
That,
I hope Ruth Smith is watching these. One of our old timers. She was the librarian in 1934. Remember?
Oh, she was-
She's a few of them left. They did, her and Tom Sawyer and West Barron is about the only ones left now.
I'm not sure, but I think that's where they had the hand cars up in that little building in back with the 2 doors.
You know, that's what
And they had to pump them by hand with no motor. So when there was any, that was to check out the railroad tracks.
I checked
more
that
than
area
anything
out the
else.
other day, and them trees that stick up in back there, I think they're still along the line there in back of Dr. Lou's.
Well, they'd be almost up to
Oh, they're-
Spaulding's Brook.
They're almost up to
before
the
you
sky.
Get, just before you get
Yeah.
to the cemetery and back there.
Now,
Oh, there's some snow now.
this is, we had a discussion about this, and I don't know if that's in the freight yards, because the freight yard was on the other side of the North Street, right? Or were them Spaulding's outhouses and back there the barns? And,
Well, there's that same street light, or
Yeah,
that
but that
light was
could
in
be-
front of the
railroad.
in front of the railroad
Yeah.
depot.
yeah,
So I think you're looking at back of Bunky Holden's place.
either that or
The
Spaulding's.
little family
It's
house.
hard to say.
No, that's not
I'm really
Spaulding.
far up there.
Oh, we're going up
Oh,
North
yeah.
Street now. There's a pretty house.
The Lilac
Yeah,
Lodge,
Lilac
I call that.
Lodge.
Charles Small built it. Oh, wait a minute, no. Did Patton live?
No, a small.
Harold Patton's brother built that, didn't he?
I don't know who built it, but I know Mrs. Small lived there, and she used to write poetry. Would be in the New York papers, the Boston papers.
Yeah.
She was very good at that stuff, and
In fact, there's on their gravestone, there's something she wrote.
And-
We'll have to look
Yeah,
it up.
that's so.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look that up.
Jerry Gross lived there when I knew him. Oh,
that's right.
That's
Yes.
looking across from the depot, ain't it? Across Patton's, that's where they
Yeah.
used to, they have their headquarters up there a little high so they could overlook, the land, and there's Ames's Hill in the background.
Well, I wonder if that isn't more like the top of Livingston Street, Bob. Ames's Hill would be to the left of that, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be?
Yeah, you would, yeah,
I would
you're
say
right,
that that's
you're right. Yeah,
Scarlett's.
it could very well
Up where
be,
the
right.
Scarlett family owned all that
Yeah.
part of the hill up there.
I think this picture
There's
was
still
probably
Scarlett's
taken from the
around.
church depot, looking across the
Yes.
North Street crossing. Now, the depot would be to the right.
Behind
going
that
in-
white post.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the freight
Don't
part
move that-
would be up
don't
in the
move it
coal
anymore,
sheds.
Bob.
The coal sheds would be over the other.
Yes, the coast heads back this way toward the Foster School.
Right. Well, when I'm wrong, Taddy, I let everybody know.
No, I was just kind of.
Both times.
Oh, I spent like my life right around that place, looking out the back window when I lived in the where Trumley's green house is, the house aside of the church.
Yeah.
I looked out the window and I could see the World War II soldiers coming home on the trains on that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
we used to live right here, right under about where the pictures took, and we used to go out, and engineers used to throw us a penny every now and then. And boy, that seemed like an awful lot of money.
This is up on, further up on North Street at Elmont, where, well, right behind that building now, you'd see them North Street condos that they just put in, you know, in the...
North Street would be behind where that man is standing away from the building.
Yeah, just out of the picture, going up.
Going to the right behind the building, but over that way, yes.
Yes.
Right behind that was big ledge. I think they blasted that all out. Did they get rid of that ledge for that?
For the condos, I think
condo.
they did.
The other one was a single track. That's a double track here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the same depot right there at Elmont.
That was a very busy depot, too.
Oh, yeah. That was on the main line,
a big
Portland
line.
division, they called it.
The main line.
Yeah, that was... Cause I can
Across the
remember
street.
an aunt of mine in August, sent a three-wheel bicycle and a sheepskin coat down from Littleton, New Hampshire, and I put it on and wouldn't take it off, and I almost passed out from the heat. We're up North Street now. This is the McCausland farm.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah.
Let's see, it was right aside of the Crosby's house, but this is now gone, and Mr. Donahue, a teacher at the school, was right almost where that building used to sit. And if you can picture that now.
Yeah. Howard King lived there?
Oh, Howard lived across the street, didn't he?
Right.
You're right across from this, Howard King.
Yeah.
This is right next to this
next
house.
Door.
Oh, yes.
That's the Crosby's house.
Yeah, that's how I can remember looking like
Jim,
that years ago.
The milkman we showed first.
Yeah, Francis Crosby's still around.
He's over the record. Yeah, I see him every now and then. Well, I used to until I lost his picture. Now I haven't seen him lately.
I think that's the picture, not the house that's got the big sway back on it. How about?
Well, you wouldn't notice that house, right now because the trees are growing up in front of it, and you'd really have to look for it. And this was, brother, was this taken from? It's the same house, only looking from the McCausland's farm, probably across the yard.
That's what it be. And them trees are maybe all gone. They just put town storage up through there just a couple of weeks ago. Weren't you up there?
Yeah.
Oh, I was up by there. Got out, walked up down the street, looked it over.
This is the town farm up by Wang's.
What was the town farm, Bob?
Oh, that's where they kept all the poor people like me, and when they get too old to work, they put them up there and feed them and keep them.
Something like the State Hospital Arms House. It was just a different category.
Just for the state, the town. It was a town deal.
They worked on the farm up there? They had a farm they actually worked?
If they could, I guess they did.
For a long time, Mr. Johnson owned that.
Right.
And I can remember going up there with Jim McCoy delivering groceries.
That's about where that new fire station is right now, isn't it?
Right, yeah. That woman sitting in the lawn there was Billy Chandler, the fire chief's grandmother. And his father was laying on the lawn there, but it wasn't very noticeable in that picture for some reason or other.
He ran the town farm. He wasn't there, was he?
No, I think she ran it for a while. I'm not positive on the everything that went on up there, but this was taken out of that program from 1934, Battles Farm. That's where that new Apple Hill development is now. They used to grow peaches and apples and.
That was a great orchard.
That's Tom Sawyer's truck, by the way. And that's Bruno. You know Bruno. Remember Bruno? That's him standing up on the back there.
Oh.
And Tom told me who that guy was driving out. Who did he tell me? Tom Dow, was it?
No.
He'll call me tonight and let me know. I know.
With
That's the old Battles house still there. Notice how it's crooked it is?
that again is a beautiful home even today.
Oh, yeah.
After all
Oh,
the
yeah.
years, some of these houses that they take care of are really something.
Actually,
This house has
looks like
something interesting about it, too, is I learned quite a few years ago that each corner of that house, if you come right out from the corner of it, one faces north, east, south, and west. And the corner on the right there that you're looking at faces east. And the other thing about that house is if you look at it today, you'll find that it's really tipping. One side is, and the other side is not so tipping. Yeah.
That's right at 495, just across. It's what they call the old Fleming house.
Yes.
It's the first house on the left after 495.
Right across from Crosby's.
That's been there quite a while.
That's another old one. That was taken out of I think that same book, 84.
Yeah, it's a kind of newer picture, though, because see the air conditioner in the front there?
My God, I didn't notice that before. You're right, but that's the old clock something up the
Brown,
house.
Jonathan Brown, isn't it up the end?
Yeah, well, Brown lived there. I don't know.
I mean-
he sold it now.
Yeah, at the very end.
It's Clark's house, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Clark?
Jonathan Clark, that's what it is, right at the end.
Clark,
Yeah,
there
the
you go.
date is still on it.
Right directly across the street from when you come out North Street.
Right.
Cross Andover Street, just cross right over, and that's the house right there.
It looks like some of these houses with that thing on the top that it had a widow's peak lookout, but then they've taken them off, it seems like some of them. Notice how a lot of them have that square thing?
I don't know what that scoop is.
What's
This
this?
down on River Road. Tom Sawyer knows all about that. He helped build that wall. That's at the, oh boy, if you were going over River Road at Troll Brook, if
Yeah.
you'd have to get down and look up.
Yeah. The old Troll, yeah, the old Troll Mill Dam.
Yeah, that's
That's
okay.
part of the old
There you
Troll
go.
Mill
There
Dam.
you go.
That's the embankment on each side of the dam,
Yeah,
not the
yeah.
dam itself.
It was almost
know.
like the road went over the dam, didn't it?
It did,
Yeah.
and then as years went by, it washed out, and
Yeah.
there would be Tom Sawyer would be rebuilding the old. That'd be what he'd be doing.
Yeah, yeah.
He was. He
Now,
was
there's the
original.
old mill. That's the way it looked.
It's a golf course now, isn't it? Right where the golf course is
well,
near there?
it's part of it. Yeah, that's
You
River
can
Road. Is that path going up the hill is now River Road.
As you're coming down that hill, heading towards Lowell, on your right-hand side, on the Troll golf course is on this side, the side the building is on. You can look down. If you stop and look down, you can see the old flood waterways, you know.
Yeah, the old foundation
control
of
the
it.
waters,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
Big
this was
house.
up further up the hill. This is the old John Troll, I think his name was. I knew he was the head of the soldiers in the Revolution.
And this would be right across Troll Road and
from Hood and Troll.
where just
Hood
after
and River.
where Troll comes down and meets River, between Hood and Troll on River Road towards the Merrimack River
Yeah.
side. You'll be looking right across. If you were standing, you'd be looking right across into New Hampshire from there.
Right. A good view. This here is up on Andover Street, across from the Dewing School. Wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. Let's see. This house, as far as I can remember, this house was on Andover Street at the corner of corner of Fifth Street, and it was moved onto Fifth Street, and now is in back of the church. I think that's the way that goes. Buck.
Fitzgerald probably lives there?
Right. As
Now
far as
that's
I
on
know-
Andover Street right there, Bob.
that's the one I was thinking of at first. That's on Andover Street, right across from the Dewey School. Mrs. Seekins and Chris, and a number of people have moved in here.
I know that's one of the old ones. I
Yeah.
remember.
All the shutters on the houses, huh? They boarded them up when the storms came and stuff.
Either that or the Indians.
Look at the big.
Yeah, those are real ones. The ones they're putting on today are kind of make-believe.
Plastic.
Look at the rugged chimneys they have in a house. All them houses.
Here we go. This is a story here now. That's Irvin Bailey's father was a mailman, and he delivered mail from the post office in Lowell out to Haggett's Pond and surrounding areas. And the story went, well, I got a story out of a paper in 18-something. I'd like to put it on. But anyways, he used to go to Lowell, pick up the mail. He'd take he had 2 horses. He'd take one horse, go into Lowell, pick up the mail, and start delivering. And when he get halfway home, he'd swap horses, you know. And then
Oh yeah.
just
A
the
little later,
opposite.
is it now?
This is a little later. The people on the route built this wagon, presented it to him. I don't know if they built it or not. And that was taken outside the old post office.
The old
on Apples.
I was going to say, yeah, the Appleton
Yeah.
Street post.
Now, Irvin Bailey was one of the people that we really would like to get on
Oh,
tape,
oh, yeah,
on
well,
tape, but
We
you know,
didn't get
God
to
took him
quick.
before we got to
no,
him.
we
Yeah.
got these pictures, a lot of them came from him. And this is the same gentleman a little later in life when he had his 17 Model T. I forget the year. Cliffy Bolton would know
Well,
immediately.
somebody will pick us up on that, Bob.
Yeah,
If that's not a
Cliffy
17.
knows. I think it's a 17, 16, 17. But I wanted them 3 pictures all together. That's why we had all that rigmarole
That's
the other
very
day.
good.
But could you go spare tire there?
I've heard of the man, but I never did see him.
No.
Yeah, no, Irvin Bailey was quite a guy, yeah.
Oh yeah, Irvin was.
There's a
one.
big house.
Wonderful.
Mount Joy. That's Mrs. Nesmith's estate up there.
That was a beautiful, beautiful home.
You know, we went in there later on before they wrecked it, and there was suits of armor. Looked like
Oh,
something out of a castle out of old England or something. The old big round table, oak, and oh
Well,
God.
they were the wonderful old family.
And,
Then.
oh yeah, and she lived there all by herself. And we're down there. We're chasing after a prisoner. And we went in the house, you know, and we didn't think anyone was home. She says, "Is there anybody downstairs?"
Where's this now? This is the Kendall
Road.
Kendall Road?
Yeah, that's still there.
That's still there. I think that's painted red now, isn't it, Bob?
Yeah. I went by there the other day. It's
And
still,
it looks excellent, too. When
Yeah,
you
it
see
does. It looks better
that's
today
it. Some
than
of
it
these
does
old homes, if they take care of them,
know.
they're worth the money they put
Oh,
in.
sure.
They show up so nice.
And the Whiten lives there. Lived there.
Lived there for quite a while,
Yeah,
yes.
I don't know if he's still there or not.
No, there's somebody else there now, but the house is still there, and it's really set into a bunch of wooded area now.
Yeah,
Really
it's
looks
trees
beautiful in that corner, yeah.
And there's the old Bridge Street Bridge.
Yeah.
That's quite an old picture.
I don't know which one that is. We've rebuilt that. That's been rebuilt by the old highway
Oh, I know it, yeah,
quite a few times.
Yeah, I know
The
it.
first time it was rebuilt that I had anything to do with it was after the 1936 flood.
Mm-hmm.
And that had to be rebuilt, and the one down the stream on Mill Street.
Yeah.
And then, of course, on Route 38, that one was damaged by the Knights of Columbus Hall.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it was Pat O'Neill, Dick's
Yeah.
father, that had the contract to rebuild that back in
Oh,
the
where's
day.
this house, Bob?
That's the Irvin Bailey's old house up there on the
yeah.
end of a street. Right. Well, the garage would have been to the right of that. It's kind of facing. I call the front of that house.
A little on an
It would
angle.
actually be the side because the street goes right along the long length of the house.
Probably we're going to put a street in there one day and change their mind.
Yeah, probably. Now this is in the driveway looking out, and today I should have another picture showing the Deering Drive across the road, all the houses and everything, instead of trees and apple trees like they are. That was part of probably and I say probably, Cameron's property.
Yeah, you look
the
right out
farm.
from there, right into Deering's Drive. It's
Yeah.
very, very close to it.
Right.
Right where that construction's being put on
Yeah,
now.
right.
I wondered, Bob, I think possibly that driveway came from where you see in, and came back out on and circled on to North Street. You know where you
Yes,
go
yeah, it
behind
did, it
Bailey's
did.
garage?
Yeah, sure.
It used to go out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure at one time.
This is, I
It's a
think,
nice
I have an
country road.
idea, this is Kendall Road, years and years ago, before it was taken
Paved
from
or...
Jesus, I don't
It
know.
looks an awful lot like a lot of the roads in South Tewksbury when I went to work for the
well,
town.
well, hey,
A lot
that's the
of-
way it was.
Well, even the Foster Road spots look like that.
This
There's
here
a-
was a blizzard.
Winter
That's
scene?
down
Oh.
in Chandler Street. And now you can see that the chimney there, I think it belongs to the novitiate, the big high building. The white underneath it is Lou Smith's house, I believe, and then that barn there. So you can realize how high that snow was. The barn is still there, you know, the garage. And Bernier used to live there.
Yeah,
Betty had their dance studio.
This is down around Foster Road,
Right
looking
just
towards the
opposite
novitiate. Like.
Foster Road, really.
Yeah.
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 Now, here, see that kid? That's Priscilla Clough.
Yeah.
And that's the old Rogers Farm.
And that's how they went down the cellar. That was a big piece of granite across
Yeah.
under that window.
Yeah, I
Could
remember
always
that.
remember that.
I remember that, yeah. That was quite a farm. They had buffalo on the farm and, geez, a lot of things. Big barn across the road. Now it's
That
gone.
was
It's-
big.
Now, the Cloughs ran that farm for Rogers, didn't they?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the buffalo.
Yeah.
There's your buffalo. That's still on the farm there. And it was quite a place. It was Rogers, of course, owned half of Tewksbury. I guess,
Yes, and all that
area.
that
anyway.
area around
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
always, yes.
And old Melvin never wanted to see a town change at all. That's why he gave the park to the town, you know, down there.
Yes.
Rogers Park over on Rogers Street.
Yeah.
There's some buffalo over in Georgetown right now today. There's a
That's right.
fellow over there that has a
Every
few
time I go
buffalo.
by,
Yeah,
I
I
look
see
out
them. You
there.
know,
Yeah,
it reminds me of this picture.
Now there's
I have quite a few pictures of that.
there's another picture, and that was taken around 1934. See the auction out there in the front? That was
Yeah, to the
taken
right,
probably
right
from the
in front.
barnyard, backing right up to the barn.
Well, that would you'd have
Right
to be
across
standing
Lowell.
on. You'd have to be standing on Rogers Street, turning to the right, going towards Lowell. You know where that high stone wall is?
It's kind of a kitty cornered.
Yeah, that
house
house
was
was a
kitty
little
cornered.
odd,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it was kitty cornered. That's right. The barn would have been north of the other. This is one of the old Frenches owned this. I don't know which French, but
Looks like it's still there right now. The first one on the left after the big field. Go by French's bus.
Astor Street. That's where Cuffy Bolton used to live, on Astor Street.
Oh, yeah, that's the last house on the right
Oh, the
on
old-
Astor
you're talking
Street.
about the old Bolton
Which then,
farm.
yeah.
Well, it was
Oh,
the
yeah.
old Bolton farm to
All right.
us, but
Yes,
it
I know what you mean,
it
yeah.
was a French farm years and years ago. We got to keep this in
Well,
perspective, you know.
everything in West Tewksbury in that area across and over on the Hooper Road was
Who
all
are these
French.
people, Bob? Any
Yeah.
idea?
Yeah.
Look at how pretty she sits on the horse there, side saddle.
Oh, that's, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that would be Jean Manley's aunt, Bubby and Yowz's aunt.
You know, the guy in the middle there almost looks like Bob Lacey. I don't know why.
Well, that's because his hair is cut that way, but I think that's Jim Manley. I think that's Jimmy Manley and his sister, and who the old guy was is probably, oh, go ahead, Jack
Cosgrove?
Cosgrove, yeah.
Now, this guy looks like he's in the apple orchard or something. Who's that?
Yeah, it's just another one of, these are Tom Sawyer's,
Well, that would be Tom Drew or some of that group that drove
it's
horses for Sawyer.
probably Jack Cosgrove.
Yeah, Jack.
He was,
Jack
he was,
wouldn't be that awfully old, would he? He died a few years back, but he didn't seem to be that awfully
young
old.
Jack's still around. He's
Yes.
driving that truck up and down there. Now, I know that's Jack Cosgrove right there. The old buggy. But these were all taken down on Shawshene Street at the old Manley Farm. Now, you tell them where the old Manley Farm is.
Yeah, where the ink factory was
Yeah,
for a
right
while.
across the street.
Willis's
farm there now, yeah.
That was another real old building with a...
Yeah. And you know, it says Kittredge on that. So one of the
That could have
Kittredges
been-
must have been, you know, because there was 9 or 10
There
of
was
them.
a date on the chimney at one time. That's still there?
I know, but they got a plaque on
Just-
it. I don't know if the
oh, yeah.
date's on the chimney or not. But
It's a very old home.
there's a little plaque on the house.
And from that Manley's farm, the grandfather or great-grandfather, most of them around here, was the chief of police
Yeah, oh, sure.
during the time of the explosion.
1903, right?
South
Yep.
Roll explosion, they call it.
They say he
He was
never
around.
carried a gun. His hands were too big.
He was a pretty rough man. I don't think he needed... Them boys didn't need guns.
Yeah. There wasn't that many bad people around.
No, in them days, if one of them boys told you to move, you moved.
Yeah. That's
Can
another
you
wagon.
imagine trying to get around town now with a wagon like this
Oh,
here?
that's the elite there. That's the Cadillac of the wagons for Carnival.
That is right.
Then
It
we're
reminds
all,
me of down in Pennsylvania with the Amish and the
Yeah,
wagons,
yeah.
you know. They still run them down there.
Oh,
but
sure.
Can you imagine going down Main Street in a wagon
I know.
today?
with a big
Well,
truck behind you.
I think 5 years from now, you'll go just as fast in a horse and wagon as you will in a car because the traffic gets so heavy on 38.
That's true.
You know, it's
You're right.
just the way it is.
Probably better to run. Who's just start jogging?
But the horse still has a right of way, Bob. We could get out quicker, couldn't we, with a horse?
Well, I don't think they get the right of way anymore. This was taken up on High Street in Lowell, but Tom Sawyer is in this. One of those guys is Tom Sawyer, Jim Manley, and once again, old Jack Cosgrove. And they look like they're going out to pick up a couple girls or something, the way they're dressed with their straw hats.
Yeah, they always told their wives they're going to go buy a horse.
They're going by a horse. They did go by a horse. This is the old Sawyer farm down there on Low Street, right near Bird's Crossing. You know.
Yes, yeah.
I think they put a roof on that now.
Yeah, you
That's
wouldn't
just
recognize
He's
it.
put a nice roof on it, yeah.
I think
yeah.
they're straightening out that stone wall a little.
Well,
And that's a very crooked street right from
oh,
there to...
I guess you better believe it.
Well, they went around every big tree, cut down only little
Well,
ones. They
the
did.
idea was, years ago, they used a stagger system, and by having a road crooked, you never bumped the sides of it. You knew just to stagger at the right time.
Now that was
Straight road
that's the
was
same
dangerous.
same place. You know,
Yeah, that is.
Just looking. A
There was
little
a
bit to the left.
station down there at one time, Bob, at the
Oh sure,
crossroads.
Bird's Crossing.
Yes,
I think I
that-
got a picture of that coming up somewhere on.
Well, everything around that end of the town in East Tewksbury was Burt.
Oh yeah.
When you get over onto Carter Street. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
The Burt Lewis. And,
Burt, oh yeah.
But it was everything.
Bird's Farm
Yeah.
down on South Street.
Burt Bridges. They're
Yeah.
all one clan. They're all mixed
yeah.
up.
That's the same area right there. Only now you're down along the railroad track. You see that pile of railroad ties there? It looks like it blocks the track, don't it? I don't know if it does or not. Maybe it's a siding they put in there or something.
Oh, I never heard of a siding being.
It
That's
looks,
very
it
narrow.
looks like
there.
that's where that track stopped.
Yeah.
That was the one that went down to Wilmington, Andover way.
Oh, I'm pretty sure
Over
you'll
across
find.
the Shawshene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's-
Yeah, the trestle. We used to swim
The
off
trestle,
that trestle when
right.
we were kids.
Yeah, yeah.
There was no track there, just the bridge.
Yeah.
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 That's right.
That's looking, just showing us more of the buildings. Now that's looking up toward Maple Street now, from the corner of Low and Shawshene is.
Yeah.
Shawshene would be just down below us here, not too far.
But that would be Low Street that house is on, you're saying?
Yeah, Low Street's
It's-
going
it
up
just
behind that fence.
Yeah.
It goes up
Swings
and
then
circles
turns
around.
right.
Nice white fence there, isn't it, Bob?
Yeah, the railroad is supposed to have put that up because
They did
they
all
had a
that.
hard time keeping the cows off the tracks. Now there you go. Where's that, Taddy? Quick.
That's that same place.
Bird's
See that white
Crossing.
fence?
That's Bird's Crossing right there. That's Shawshene Street is going across, and I think the trestle was probably just, well,
This side.
just in front of this here. In front of it. That's beyond the trestle, going
Then-
toward the hospital.
All right. Then off to the right here would be the buildings that we just been looking
right,
at.
yeah.
You know we got to get Wes Barron up here. He's part of this
Yes,
committee. He
yes.
knows a lot
Yeah,
about
he
this. In
lived
fact,
right
he
around
rode the
there.
railroad a lot.
Yeah,
sure.
he lived right.
Yep.
Now, here's a house that I really and truly can't tell you where it is, but I know it's around here because my old aunt, Willette, over in Billerica, had this, and she gave it to Billy Chandler, who gave it to me, and I haven't had a chance to talk to her about it.
Is that a porch off to the right of it?
It looks like
With
it.
a lot of people in front?
You know,
Group of people?
We're going to need help
I don't
with this
e-
one.
I don't
If
even
anyone
want
knows this
to.
one,
I don't
could-
even want to guess
Give us a
what
call.
I
It
don't
could
even-
very well be Billerica, but she gave it to us probably because she thought it was
No,
Tewksbury.
I'm pretty sure. Now here's Chandler's boiler room and garage, and the greenhouse in the background.
From up at the house on
Remember
the
that hill with the field way out in back, Tad? You know about that.
That field there would be
Yeah.
the TAC field?
Right.
The old Tewksbury Athletic?
Okay, we're going to go
That's right.
down Chandler Street, just beyond Foster Road, little driveway on the left, and go way up in there, and this is where we are, right?
If
And
you
if-
were standing up where that picture was taken, you'd be looking across John Street, Euclid Drive, Beauvais,
Yep.
and out towards,
That's right.
what do they call that other one up and through there?
Grass
This is the
Hopper.
greenhouse that
Grasshopper.
belonged to that, right?
Up
That's
there.
Chandler's greenhouse. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
down at the bottom of the hill there. And
That was quite a
them-
place.
that was they blew down in
That-
1938 in a
I was
hurricane.
gonna
That was
say,
the end of that
38 yeah.
greenhouse. Yeah.
That was a long, good-sized greenhouse.
Oh, there
and
was
it
a
sagged
number
down.
of
The
them.
wind
Yeah.
caused it to sag down, yeah.
We've gone from the carnation capital to the condo capital, huh, Bob?
And that's it. Just
Yeah,
about.
almost all
really.
these places have
Yeah.
condos in them now.
We used to be known as the nut town, at one time, but we won't go into that.
It's kind of a
Oh, yeah,
nice
no, here you
painting,
go.
isn't it?
This is hand drawn by one of the Foster family, Haines and Foster. I forget now his name, but he's related to your wife, Bunk. That's supposed to be the Silver Stream, or not supposed to be. It is. It's a picture of at the old bar room at the corner of Shawsheen and Main Street. And later on,
That'd
when
be
we
a
were
bit-
kids, it was called the Silver Stream.
Yeah.
I don't know what they
All
call
right,
it.
all right. Then that would be the old Manning house. What they call the old Manning house?
Don't ask me. The Silver Stream was there. You went.
Well,
It
the
became
Manning.
the Oaks. It's what the Oaks is
That's
today.
right.
It's right where the
All
Oaks
right,
is. They used to have
well,
rooms there. My wife's grandfather met her grandmother there.
That's a
Wait.
long time ago.
Oh,
Were they drinking
It's
beer?
the same
Wait
place.
a minute. Your wife's
No, that's the same guy built it. Built it. He
Drew it,
Drew it. But that's the house up on Livingston Street where Ray Kelley used to live. And the barn is still down.
And where's this one?
Well, if I'm looking at it, and I'm going to say it's at Chandler's Corner. It's probably the old Chandler house still there at Chandler's Corner where Cole is, or right in where they put the caps on the pickup
Now, your
trucks.
greenhouse is here too, Bob, didn't it?
Yep. And then that, to me, that looks like Sheehan's house, but hey, once again, this is another one
I can't.
it don't look.
Could that be the old Katharina house? That's
That's what I was just wondering
What's
if
the
it
other
is.
house to the side of it?
Well, this is
though?
Foster's Corner. We can't forget this one.
No, that's
Oh,
Foster's
yeah,
Corner right
that's the
there.
old-
It's written in 1721 house. The old Enoch Foster's house. There was something like the Browns Tavern. They had a tavern there.
They really tried to preserve that, right where
Yeah.
the church is, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, that's
Now,
right.
that
Yeah.
street there would be, it'd be going out South Street.
toward Billerica. Yeah.
Towards Billerica,
Yeah.
yes. And that was,
It's dirt road in them days.
again, that was a beautiful home.
There's
And
quite
in-
a few pictures of this area.
Yeah,
Oh,
in-
right, sure. That was a beauty. There.
Well, there's
there
a
you
nice
go.
picture of the truck.
There's the last electric car supposedly going through Tewksbury, and that's at Main Street,
Yeah.
looking toward. That's the Sam store there on you, in.
Oh, yes, Sam's
ahead
on the
of
other
you.
side of South
It's
Street.
right in
It's
front.
Foster's Corner.
Foster's Corner, yeah.
All right, then on this corner to the right
It's the fire
is
station.
the fire station.
Yeah.
Then on the other side, that would
The
be
church,
Sam's store. And to the left, right behind that would be where the church is now.
Yeah, with
There.
that other building we just.
That's right.
This same building
That's
right
the
here.
same,
That's the picture of that.
Well, that was taken with electric cars. You can see the arm that holds a wire.
There you go, boy.
The trolley wire.
Yeah. You'll.
Oh, that is old. Look at the buildings in back there. They must have been part of that old. I never remember seeing them, Bob.
Well, that was an old shed. I'll tell you who'll tell you the whole story, Matt.
That
The guy
old
who lives right there on the left.
Oh
Hallett. Hey, Mr. Hallett. Foster
Yeah,
Hallett.
he's been
Sure,
there
sure,
quite a-
yeah.
He's from
I
there.
always knew him as Foster Hallett, but if you ask someone, who's that? I don't know. They didn't know him as John, I guess, but...
There's that same house
Same
again.
house with, see
This
the
is
old
one of the-
wagon and
yeah.
the old house, the old car there? That's... that was quite a place. It was no doubt about it, a show place, like a lot of the old houses.
And in the end there, didn't that have a liquor license for a short time?
Sure, there was a
What a
1721 house.
1721
That's what they call it.
club, yeah.
Oh, by the way, you know, that Oaks, if you want to look up the history, you'll find that that's the longest liquor license in Massachusetts, continuous in the same spot, still there today.
Is this the same house?
Yeah, that's the same house, and I think that's part of the Hallett family there, and Foster's probably the youngest of the group. Now
And again, you can see they were ruggedly built, them old houses.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the fireplace, you can tell by the chimney.
Yeah.
One in each room. My old house in the center there,
yeah.
each room was heated by a separate fireplace.
Yeah. They built the house around it. Now, there's Foster right there on the left, it's a kid. Now, if you looked out here today, you'd probably see the fire truck rolling out from the right. And that house is behind the tree is still there, but it's shortly going down, I understand.
That's the one they're working on now on the corner of South, right across from...
South of Main.
Yeah.
And to the left is Freddie's store, and it looks something like it does today. I mean,
Yeah.
and they just
Those knickers and mini skirts there, Bob.
Yeah. And them were the good old days. That's the same area. There's quite a few.
Yeah, we certainly got enough
pictures
of this
from that
house
area,
here, I
yeah.
think, Bob.
Yeah,
Well, it was a
It's
nice
nice,
house.
it's
That
a-
looks like it probably had a tin roof on. Like that old house of mine in the center there has a tin
Yeah, I
roof
know
on
it
it
has,
today.
yeah.
It's the same as it was.
Yeah. In them days, that was the way they built them.
You have any idea what year that roof
Yeah, that was
put on?
no, because I know it's not the original.
I mean, the tin roof that's on your place now in the center.
No, it's not original. It
I
had
know,
wood
I know,
shingles.
I
Already.
know.
This is an old church. This is the old Methodist church.
Methodist
Right
church
now it's an
down
apartment.
around
Yeah.
in South. That building's still there. It was turned around, I think, before they turned it into. Well, it was there was a church then, but I mean, it's now a house.
Well, then they put a new driveway or something. They redesigned the whole
Oh yeah,
front of it there.
they changed it all around.
The town would plow. Years ago, the town plowed every church, every club, anything that had to be open on a Sunday.
There's quite a family there, Ted. Who's that?
Well, the only guy I can tell you that's in there is Dick Treadwell. Is in that picture somewhere.
Yeah?
And I hope he's watching this. It's an outing on the Shawsheen River, big tent in the background. I know that Bernie Green's father took that picture, and chances are Bernie Green might be in there too. But Bernie did tell me that Dick Treadwell was definitely in that picture.
Is that a boat they're in?
Yeah, they were in a boat. That's just another
This
old
is a school
class
picture.
and
This is nice if we get in some pictures. If people
Oh, I know
just
it, yeah.
notice somebody in here and
Oh,
just
yeah.
give us a call, we'd like
That's
to
that's an
identify
old
some of
one.
them.
Miss Howard's in there, that's all I know.
Well, that's the Foster School.
It's a Foster school, and
Don't say that was an old one if Miss Howard was in there, because I had Miss Howard too.
So what? I did. Bunky did. Everybody in Tewksbury did.
No, she got out just before I came in, honest.
Yeah.
Very good.
I don't know what year that is right offhand, but it's not too old.
Oh, that's a Shawsheen River, is it? Or?
Yep. And that there is the old mill. Remember down by Mill Street on the right there?
The mill?
Chambers Mill, was it?
Yeah, let me see.
They use his mill for power for
Birch
different
Mill.
things. Like
Birch-
grist mill.
Everything was birch down
yeah,
there.
Birch
things like
Mill,
that.
Why did
sure.
I say Chambers?
And later on it became Henry Pringles, Pringles over
That's
back
it,
there.
there you go. I don't know
but
where-
that was all the same, but that was the Birch
Well,
family
well,
owned
yeah,
everything
yeah,
around
yeah,
there. It had
yeah.
something to do with everything. Yes, Chambers is up in there too. in the
There's
corner.
another picture of it when it was falling down.
Oh, that's a recent picture. That was much later than that
Yeah,
other one.
Yeah. But it's pretty old now.
Yeah, the foundations are still down there. How
Yeah.
they diverted the water over to this mill to use it to power something, yeah?
Yeah, the stone wall you can see from look in. Yeah,
you can walk right down there.
I've not been over there for years and years. I should take a walk over.
Because Mill Road used to be just a narrow little bridge, but now the house is in there. It's a little wider.
Well, Mill Road, they had a little dispute over that. We had to go to court over it.
What's this in the front? This looks like a turbine or something that might have run something. Can you tell me what
That's
that
one
is?
of the mill wheels.
Yeah, that-
one or two mill wheels. isn't it?
That was on taking up the Ames Estate bunker. Now, I don't know if that's supposed to be the little dam up there or what. Looks like it. But that was the name under it was in a postcard, and it was says Ames Estate, Tewksbury.
It looks like those things probably had water go down through them and
It
move
looks
the
like a
gear or
turbine.
something, yeah.
Yeah. Some kind of
I don't ever remember them having.
I don't either,
I never
but
heard of
That's
any.
another picture of that little dam in the back.
Same area, and it's the
Yeah.
same only going up a little bit.
I can remember taking baths up there. That's where we used to get a bath underneath that big dam.
Yeah,
You go up for that?
Yeah, sure. Oh, yes, that was a great place up there.
We used to ride
get
up on our
kicked out.
bikes.
Oh, yeah, we used to stop and get spring water. Remember
Yeah,
Salonicus used
yeah,
to have a barrel
yeah,
out there getting
yeah.
nice fresh water. The brook coming down from the castle. Remember we used to drink right out of that.
Oh, sure.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
dare get close to it.
Today,
Yeah.
you know, it was the water coming down there was as good as they're giving us a drinking today. What's that?
It
Oh,
looks
that's
like a water
that's
hole,
another hole on Ames' estate. A pool. It said the card said a pool on the Ames estate.
All right.
See the OOL down in the left-hand corner. That's,
Would that been up, remember where the arch, the little bridge was going up Ames's Hill?
yeah.
You'd go up and about halfway
It
up
was
far.
built up with stone.
Yeah. And there was a pool on the upper side of it.
Well, that could be it. I don't know.
Rhododendrons along the side there. Remember the great big tree?
Yeah. There's a distance of
Mill Street again? Mill
yeah,
Road?
no, Bridge Street.
that was,
Oh, that's Bridge
yeah,
Street.
that
That's
would
now
be-
the O'Neill Bridge.
Well, it is
Yeah, after
now,
Dick
yeah.
O'Neill, yeah.
Yeah.
Retired from the town.
Yeah. I think that bridge in that I know of, from the time I worked at the town, I think 3 different times we rebuilt that bridge.
Yeah, but remember
And
later
the last
on,
time they put big tubes in it.
yeah, the big thing stuck up too, didn't it? The arches higher.
During the flood, the 36 flood, the water came each side of that.
Now, there's
kind
a
of bridge
snowstorm.
down there along.
Okay, this picture was taken out in back of Spalding's at the little bridge across the brook out in back there before everything all.
Near the railroad track?
Somewhere along there, Teddy, because I'll tell you why I say that is because it was on a slide that Ruth Smith had, and it came from the Spalding family, you know. Look at the birch trees. You can't find many of them around now.
Well, that'd be very
And this here is another
Nice
one
country
of
scene, yeah.
these country roads, probably Kendall Road or going up North Street or somewhere in that general area.
Yeah.
I'm not positive. on
birch
these.
trees on the side.
Yeah.
Bunky's grandfather had been in charge of them trees.
Yeah,
Yep.
52 years he was tree warden. Yeah.
That's right.
He wouldn't like that bark picked off those birch trees.
No.
Now, there's something that
All
Tewksbury
right.
used to have a lot of.
Yeah, I mean, you know where that is? I don't, let's see now, is that right in Tewksbury Center, or is that on Low, that's on Low Street. That's one of Sawyer's cows on Low Street. Tom would be able to tell you the cow's name, you know, if he was here. Probably Tilly Bell or something. He had every damn animal, horse, cow, and everything named, you know that?
Yeah. He had a good set. Well, he dealt in cattle
Oh,
quite a few
yeah.
years, going up to Canada
Right.
and bringing them down.
Yeah, that's again on Low Street now. If you went out there today, you'd find all kinds of houses right in that area.
Yeah, out back would be that, what, Star Ave?
Well, across the
Martha
street from there.
Ave,
Across the street from there.
Is this across on
Yeah,
the other side
yeah,
of the...
across the street.
Then,
On
where would this...
Low Street, right on
On Low
right
Street.
across.
We're looking
Far as-
down that way or back towards the other
Well,
side?
Come on out there.
This is one of the last things I think I hate to see go. The Tewksbury State Hospital, when they got rid of all their cows.
Yeah.
There's your Birds Crossing. You remember that?
Yeah, no, I know.
It
I
was
can't
just
say
a-
I remember.
I think it was
Bird
just
Cross. I know
a-
it was there, but I never...
If
was
they,
like
if they
Kelley
wanted
Crossing.
the train to stop, they'd.
Yeah.
I think the pole was, they used a pole to put the mail
Yeah, that was
on or
more or
something.
less a place for you to stand in if it was raining while
Yeah,
you wait for
yeah,
the train.
right.
You had a big stick that you'd hold up that stop
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
And if the engineer felt like it, he stopped. If he didn't, you
Keep
wait for
going,
the
huh?
next one. There's still people waiting, no
Point to
doubt.
the rear. Oh, here we are. Oh, this I know is in Tewksbury Center, and probably taken from Billings's Field, where the, what is it, the Sunoco station now?
Yeah, Texaco was, or whatever
it is across, and the mobile would be across the street, and that's the shed, the L in the house that where the Canes lived later on, and myself on the other end.
Yeah, I lived there, you lived there.
Right,
James
everybody
lived
lived there, I guess. But I don't know who them people are. Probably the Billingses and their high-class car.
Is that the cemetery, or?
That's the old cemetery on North Street.
Center,
Yeah,
East Street Center.
North, going up, not north.
East Street.
You're
Yeah,
right.
that's the East Street gate.
I don't know north from east anyway.
Oh, well,
Looking over in the background, you'd see Charlie Williams' boiler room for that greenhouse, which is now the Crystal News that
all right, yeah.
haven't been torn down.
Yeah.
Of course, Tewksbury lost more glass than anything, I guess.
That was,
That was in 1940, by the way, in that snowstorm.
This is
I
the
mentioned.
town hall.
That's the
No, that-
school
Was that
at
the-
the
no,
North Street School. Is that North Street School
No,
or the West School?
I couldn't
They
tell
both
you.
looked
They
alike.
Yeah.
They both looked
Well, there
alike.
was also a school down on East Street, just down beyond
By the
Kelley's
hospital,
house.
right.
Kelley's house, what do you call it?
Yeah.
Saunders now,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah, right in
And
the
that
middle of
open
the
field
Yeah.
there. There was a
All the
schoolhouse
schools
there.
looked like that at one time, you
More or
know.
less. It'd be kind of
Yeah.
hard to, unless you really was a
I
kid,
have a
but-
stinking idea that it could be the North Street School. I mean,
Yeah.
of North Tewksbury.
Another
And
picture of it.
the
huh?
same.
Another
Well,
one.
it's just it don't look like the same school, but it's a school in
what
Tewksbury.
they
I know
call the
that.
Ella Fleming School now?
Yeah, right.
That could be.
Yeah,
There
there you go.
was, there was one on the corner of French
Oh, yeah,
Street and
okay.
Whipple Road.
That's the North School, because they had that pump, and that pump, someone told me is right. If it was still there, it'd be right in the middle of Andover Street today.
Where is that? Is that the Doing
yeah.
School?
The school was pushed
Is
back.
that the Doing School?
No, the Fleming.
We filled that.
Ella Fleming, which is now the right next to the Doing, the new
Yeah, the
Doing.
Little Ritz Schoolhouse. Now, there's Mr. Patton. That's not
Oh.
Harold, but Harold's father. And he was quite a guy with the carnations. And he used to handle them and
Develop
sing
his
to
own.
them, and he had a black carnation he developed. What they call it?
And also the
Dragon.
white one, the
It was-
Sim. I remember that when we
Right.
were kids.
It
That
was
was nationwide.
well-named. Yeah. It was written up in the horticultural. Now wait a minute. Did I make a mistake there? Would that have been Tingley? Oh boy.
Well, Tingley had greenhouses down next to me on East Street there. But it did look like a pattern.
Yeah. I'm getting so many greenhouses. It's hard to keep track of. That's another greenhouse.
That's when carnations could compete with the South because they
Yeah.
couldn't transport them as fast as we could get them
Right,
around. But
right.
today they can get them up in
Oh,
hours.
sure.
You could smell them a quarter of a mile away, too.
Now, isn't this is kind of
Well, it's
starting
hard
into
to
the
see.
church.
It's
This is
just,
a church.
It's a little history of the town voted to build a. I don't know what the heck we got that in.
And
there
they
for.
wanted to
I
build a
hate
meeting house, I can see that, and 34 men organized the church in order to get it going.
Yeah.
And it's just history out of that history book, isn't it, Bob?
Right.
Yeah.
It looks like it's 1783, it's 17 something up the top.
And it's down the bottom, it says the Congregation's Church was the second
Oh, I
meeting
see
house.
what it is
And
now.
here's
It's
the-
history of the different churches.
Yeah, and here's the
in,
Baptist Church, the Oblate
yeah,
Novitiate,
yeah.
the Methodist, Episcopal.
Yeah, that's what it is, okay.
That's kind of when they got started, it
Yeah,
seems.
yeah.
Because, of course, Tewksbury was all started with
church.
churches.
Well, it was the church and the state was one and the same in them days, you know.
Yeah.
That's when they used to run people out of town if you didn't go to the right church, you know, or lock the gate.
You had to
or
live in the
something,
right town in
Trip
order
them or whatever they
Yeah.
did to them at the time, tar and feather or whatever. It's get a little bit different today, I hope, for the best, in that respect anyway. The Methodist Episcopal Church, that must be the South Tewksbury one.
Yeah, it's right in the
that's the
corner
South
now.
Tewksbury
Yeah,
one.
we've had pictures of that.
Yeah. That's these churches are all old, and you know they were all. So I think the Methodist Church celebrating their anniversary this
Yeah, and that's the
You see-
novitiate as it used to be. That
Yeah.
was destroyed by fire.
down on Chandler Street. Right. That's quite a building. That fire, you know, I didn't think that fire was doing the job that it really did. Geez, when I seen
Well,
a
that was
air
out.
view of that, it was just nothing but the walls left.
Well, that was sort of out once, and then it had got up underneath.
yeah,
they,
to get up
they
into
didn't
the
know and got away
petitions,
from them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Up into the
You
eaves.
didn't know it was there. They thought just smoke.
And that's the
Yeah.
Baptist Church, is it?
The Congregational Church in the
Congregational,
center,
oh, yes.
showing
Yes, it is.
the carriage sheds, and the very left there is the corner of the town hall.
We've seen a lot of these in series number 1, but
Yeah.
this is just kind of going back over some of the churches.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is. I got different pictures, and you hate like heck to leave them out because it's each one has got a little story to it, you know.
That top has been changed on that church now.
Whatever happened
whole
to
church
the
is
bell that
going
was
in.
in that church, Buck? You have any idea?
Oh, it's the same, different angle of it. That's all. I don't know. It came down during the fire. I know that.
Yeah, I just wonder whether it had been destroyed or
In
what.
fact, I think it
never-
was striking. Was it 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, or something that burnt? And the bell was striking as the
The
flames
church was
were
burning.
Burning, yeah. And everybody yelled, "Holy smoke!"
That was holy smoke, yeah.
And that's a picture of the old Baptist church up in Tewksbury, the first one.
That's kind of a drawing, isn't it? Sketch of it.
It looks like it. Of course, in them days, everything looked like a drawing to me. It was one taken out of the town
Bailey's,
history books that Hal Patton wrote, you know. He was quite a guy, you know. A lot of people didn't like him, but if it wasn't for guys like him, by God, we wouldn't have anything today.
No, he did a good job in putting the history together,
You know, people...
Now, there's a newer picture of that Baptist church.
Right,
now, that's the way it is today.
And that house there on the left is since moved around the corner, you know, it's now where Fitzgerald lives. But get back to Harold. He hounded people, you know, for bits of information, this, that, and the other thing, and then he put that together in '64, was it?
That when it went?
I think so. And now here we are. They'll be saying we were a bunch of. I know one guy will, you know.
What church is this now?
That's just another picture of the. I think that was on a postcard. Yeah, it was a postcard.
That's the Congregational Church back in the center,
yeah.
I think we're going to end up this week here with the churches, Bob. Just basically that's where we started from, and I think the next series will probably get more into pictures of people and.
You think we're going to go next week now?
Oh, well, we'll go as soon as we can, I'm sure. There's that Baptist church again, another picture of the Baptist church. Tough part about it is we're going to be running out of time with using the school media to put this across, but we'll get as much as we can.
Pick it up next year. Or someone will, anyway.
Yeah.
I might leave town. You ready to go? Yeah.
We got lots of pictures of people that we're going to be showing, so stay tuned for all these pictures. Some of you will probably recognize.
I got a pretty good picture history of the fire department, the police department, too, you know.
Yeah,
that I haven't even brought up here. Don't ask me where that is.
That's a church, but it doesn't seem like one of the ones that we've had before, is it?
No, well, I don't know. It's probably that Baptist church sideways or something. I don't know, Bunky.
If someone knows who this is, this might be something to comment on.
It was in that book.
See the two doors, and one on each side. It's almost like the schools were.
Nothing I know. I know church.
Yeah.
You can see how much fun it is. You're welcome to join us on this committee if you'd like to. Just call us at that 851-0341 number, and we'd be glad to have you. We might be able to get a few words in between Bob and Tad here. You got any comments, Tad?
Oh, well, just send in these pictures and give us something to work on, and I'm sure we'll have some good stuff for you.
Bob, what do you think? It's going good, isn't it?
Jeez, Taddy's the best.
He's doing good. Well, thanks for joining us again. We'll see you, I hope, within a week or so with a third in the series of this program. Thanks again. Just call in, huh?